Hello again. Um, Actually, maybe it's the first time you're tuning in, but welcome. For those of you that attempted to come join me earlier today, um, I got interrupted, so we'll do this again. Let's see who's all coming in today. And trying to get the link sent out to a few folks. So if you're in here already, would love for you to share the link, get some folks in here. It's always fun to have some good conversation. I apologize that I'm kind of disengaged right now, but just trying to drum up some support, right? Because nobody wants to talk to themselves. Well, I will if I need to. Anyway, so I'm here. Again, I'm here as long as y'all need me or want me to be here. As long as I can be here, which is a understatement. So, yeah, earlier this morning I was saying that, I know Wednesday mornings are not ideal for people to go live on YouTube, especially when I'm not a breaker. I'm not anybody, really. I'm just a guy going on YouTube and, just kind of chilling, hanging out, having a good time. But, whatever we can do to kind of spread some hobby love here is really what I'm all about. And I think you all know that. But you never know. So sorry, I am just trying to finish all this up here. It's crazy just how time consuming this stuff can really be, right? I don't know. I often wonder, folks that do this on a regular basis, and I mean, like, true influencers on, whatever it's Instagram or YouTube or, Twitter, Facebook, whatever it is, how much time goes into these things. I'm connected to an influencer through work, and, she's 19 or 20, young. I mean, half my age at least. And she reached out and she's like, "Hey, I want to do something for you guys." I was like, "Great. Like, we've talked before, this girl and I," and she's like, "You'll need to talk to my manager." And I'm like, holy Moses, you're an influencer and you got a manager. And I mean, it's just nuts. You don't think of that. So the time commitment to these things is just crazy. What's up, Che? Glad to see you in here. I definitely don't interrupt work. And that's kind of what I was saying. Like, I know Wednesday mornings aren't best. Mornings usually aren't best for people. I think that's why everybody's on at night. And I'm working on that. As I mentioned earlier in my earlier attempt to go live today, you've heard me say in the past that I try to do these things when my family's not around, just because I don't want to interrupt their time. And it's one of those where I'd like to try to keep things. Oh, good morning, Wes. Oh, how are you, sir? I hope your morning is getting better. I've seen both of your incidents, and I'm so sorry. But because of the large RAK that BCB and the whole group gave me, my wife was watching, and it kind of gave her an insight of what this is all about. And so I'm getting to the point now where I can maybe do this like once a week in the evenings, which I'd really be open to and looking forward to, because quite honestly, this is out of my comfort zone, getting on camera like this and putting myself out there and all this. So I appreciate you all coming with me on this journey. And I think it's something like 2022, I've seen a lot of people say, do something that scares you or do something outside of your comfort zone. This is it for me. Wasn't really a planned thing. It was kind of just building upon certain things. And, I'm glad that I'm doing this, and, I'm hoping to gain the support. I know that, the support's there on Twitter. Now, hopefully we can get the support here on YouTube. And, what I want to do with this is, one, review the RAKs that have come in. Like, I would love to do that on a weekly basis, because there are some killer RAKs that come in on a weekly basis to people that some people might miss, some people might not know about, or were a part of, and maybe didn't get to see the reveal. It's all kinds of things. So, I've been trying to keep a list, and I have to admit the last couple of weeks have just been extremely crazy. So I've lost some things here. The other thing too is, kind of review what RAK of the Day has done in the month of January from a charity perspective, because that's a real big thing with the RAK ambassadors this year, is bringing awareness and raising funds to various charities each month. And then what's the word here that I'm trying to think of? Previewing the upcoming month's charity that it's already been out there. So, I want to bring a little more light to it. And then we just talk. There's so much going on in the world that we can definitely just talk and do those types of things. Javier, good morning. Oh, man, it's so great to see you in here. You're in class. I wanted to say hi, hello. Don't know if your class is watching too, but hello, Mr. Solis's class. But so, let's just go ahead and get into it. And I have 4 or 5 RAKs going here, and it dates back to the 14th. And it was probably one of my favorite RAKs, because I saw it, and then Che saw it, and we messaged each other, I think, at the same time, and we're like, we got to do this. And it was for Jimmy Bible, and it was an Edgar Martinez jersey, and Che really ran with it, and connected with the seller, and the seller was really cool, somebody that I've worked with in the past too. And we gathered a group of people and got Jimmy Bible this sweet signed Edgar Martinez jersey. And then I think the seller threw in some Mitch Haniger cards too, because Jimmy Bible PC's Mitch Haniger. So, it's just it was a really, really cool thing to see. And then on that same day, as I was, all month I was promoting Special Olympics with my card sales. I had a guy that I've worked with Rippin' for the Cure reach out and say, hey, I'm going to buy $150 worth of your cards. Give them to whoever you want. And it's that kind of stuff. This guy is so generous with what he does for a living, and then also what he does in the hobby. To see that type of generosity was just unbeknownst to me. And I never thought that, somebody would just say that. And it was really cool. And then it got me to be able to connect with some new folks and get some cards into some young collectors' hands that, really would appreciate them. So I was happy to see that happen. And then I myself actually received 2 RAKs, think on the same day, because that's what I have here written down. Goldline, what's up, my man? But I received a RAK from K-Dub, and it wasn't the cards. It was a Manny Ramirez rookie, and I think that was it. Might have been one of the Indians player, but it wasn't that. It was the note, and I have it sitting over there. It was a 2-page note from Kyle, and he and I and Che and so many of us, we believe in the power of a handwritten note. And I don't know if it's our generation, I'm going to be 40 soon. And so I was taught, you always, say thank you. And you always, write, your letters. We do a lot of typing and emailing and stuff like that too. But the power of a handwritten note is so key and so crucial. It just puts that little bit of effort and touch onto it that makes it so much more special. And, I think we just, really try. So that's what I took away from Kyle's RAK. Bradley, what's up, man? Welcome back. That same day, I received another rack from Jimmy Bible, and it was really cool. Like he sent me a DM of a picture of a bubble mailer, and it was a shiny bubble mailer. And I joked with him, like, I don't even want to open this thing because I want to go get it graded and slabbed. I mean, it was that nice. But a few things that I took away from it. First of all, I should have took the card out. It was a sweet Kenny Lofton autograph card that, I mean, just a killer autograph. And I was so blown away by it. But one, Jimmy Bible's got some of the best handwriting in the hobby. Like, I don't think anybody can beat his handwriting. Not only is it neat and legible, artistic. Like, it was so just freaking cool. Like, I started practicing, like, can I write like you? But I can't. Um, the other thing too is his packaging was impeccable. He had this nice bubble mailer, and inside the bubble mailer, he had like a little jewelry box that you would get a bracelet or earrings in or something. And then inside that was, on top of that was a handwritten note. There's the handwritten note again. And then inside of that was, I don't know, whatever the foam padding is, and then the card. Like, it was so awesome. Like, he just did a bang up job with it, and I felt so bad destroying it because it was such a nice package job, but I couldn't believe it. He sent you a Justin Bieber blaster and doll. Was that for you? Was it for Claire? I'm so confused by that. I I don't even know if I've ever seen Justin Bieber blasters, but it doesn't surprise me. And then January 15th was a busy rack day. And then Rowdy 421, who he's come out of nowhere. Kyle and I have had a conversation. Like, this guy is just shooting up the ladder here with racks and and putting himself just in the mix with everything, and really turning into a super duper hobby guy. He went and he bought every single one of my $1 and $2 cards that I had for sale that day, and said, "Man, send those to people. I don't want them. I just want to support Special Olympics." Great. I mean, again, this is the stuff that I'm talking about. Like, I stated yesterday in a tweet to somebody that it's so great to see the hobby growing in this direction. Not going, growing. I mean, literally growing in this direction, because I think it's bringing us back to our roots of what the hobby was. Like, we want what we want to collect. If we don't need it, let's sell it and donate, a portion of it to some type of charity, or sell it and go buy your PC stuff. That's fine too. Like, I'm not knocking that. I do it. We all do it. Or simply give the cards away, whether it's a big PC card for somebody, or like we've seen, load a box up, send it to a teacher, and let them hand it out to their kids. It's just so freaking cool. Bradley, Amber, welcome. I agree. Rowdy is a one awesome dude. January 18th, I have something written down here, guys. This is how my mind works. I wrote it down then, and it only says mine. I don't remember what it is. So I'm going to skip over it because I truly don't remember what that is. Oh, how silly of me. That was the big BCB rack. Okay. That was the one with the Bob Feller cards and I got up under my table here, all of these types of cards I have. This is just kind of a preview of today's rack. These here, plus some hobby boxes and jerseys and all kinds of stuff. That completely blew me away. I'm still getting over the shock of that. Not to mention all the letters that people wrote me. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. But I think my favorite rack of January, and I simply called it the PWE rack, is I connected with a woman, and I think it was actually during Rowdy's rack of buying all my $1 and $2 cards. And she reached out to me and said, "Hey, I'm interested in this card for my son. He's 19, he's autistic, and all he likes are colored cards, like the shiny colored cards." I'm like, "Man, that's awesome. Like, that's so cool." And we got to talking a little bit through DMs, and I got a really just like warm feeling about her and about her son. And just, I don't know, I felt compelled to try to do more. And so I put a simple tweet out that, hey, if you want to get in on a rack that's just going to cost you a stamp, let me know. And we had, by the end of it all, I mean, we had close to 100 people commit to sending this guy colorful cards, and whether it was one PWE or whether it was a box, I mean, it was outrageous to see. And she's reached out to me and has said that a number of people have sent them stuff, and it's not even the cards, it's the mail that he's getting. His face lights up when he sees his name on an envelope. And I think that, again, just goes back to how cool this whole thing is that we're a part of, called the hobby. And it really is a community. So I thank everybody that's been a part of these racks, been a part of your own racks, has put racks together. I see them on a daily basis. And unfortunately, I had to turn some down over the month of January, because we've all been there. We get to a point where you just can't participate in all of them, and that's okay, right? I mean, that's totally fine, and people are totally cool with it and understanding of it. And if you can't do it, you can't do it. Nobody's ever going to not come to you again because of it. We're all human. Zach, what's up, buddy? Hope you and Anna are doing well, and the girls down there in Tennessee. So yeah, let's talk about January, right? Like, first month of the RAK Ambassador program kicked off, and I thought it was a really great thing. We all talked yesterday, provided some great feedback, or 2 days ago, I should say, provided some great feedback. I think one of the things that we would love to see moving forward are some new suggestions of people to receive the RAKs. Not that we don't think the people that are being suggested are worthy, but one of the parts of this, of RAK of the Day, is to truly expand our networks, right? Like, we want to see all the good things that new people are doing, that people are within this hobby are doing. It connects us, to different parts, and you might be able to find, a different angle or a different connection with that person individually. But, so if we can try to really get some new folks under those RAK of the Day threads, would love to see that. Garrett, I see you, man. Good morning. Hope all's well. Hope you're safe too. I know you guys got pounded with all that snow, so be careful this morning if you're out on the roads. Either that or just crank up the music. The other thing too was timing. Trying to get attention on the tweet. Some days were lagging, some days were great. Like yesterday's was great. We had a lot of traction with it. But we're working on timing too, making some of the tweets later in the day, some earlier in the day, and it really is random. I haven't really scheduled anything out. But the most important piece to the January RAK of the Day RAK Ambassador program was the charity that we were focusing on, and it was Special Olympics. And I don't know if Goldline's still in here. I know Kevin was in earlier this morning when I attempted to go live, but we focused on Special Olympics, and both guys just absolutely killed their goals. I think they raised over $6,500 between the two of them for Special Olympics. And it was just so amazing to see, that kind of difference being made in that community, because, I mean, those athletes, they deserve it, right? I mean, they put their heart and soul in the sports that they do. And, Special Olympics provides a ton of resources for those families, not just with the sports and the athletics, but, I mean, true resources, by teaching them to live on their own and be independent and, do those types of things. So, $6,500 is going to go a long way for that. And I commend Chris and Kevin both, and the entire hobby community. I thought it was just fantastic to see. I'm excited to move into February, and work with Che, who's at Ian Sports Cards 1 on Twitter. It's American Heart Month. Obvious reasons, February, Valentine's Day. You'll see a lot of red. Wear Red Day, I think, is actually today. But American Heart Association is Che's charity of choice this month, and it's a personal story to him. I'm not gonna share it. It's not my story, but definitely go find Goldline's YouTube channel. Go find Tom's YouTube channel. I know Che has told that story on their channels, so you could definitely find out. And he's not shy about sharing it either. So I mean, if you want to know more, send Che a direct message, and I'm sure he would be happy to talk about it. But American Heart Association, I mean, they're one of the premier nonprofits in the country. Che has a goal to raise $5,000 for them this month, and I know that we can do it. It's really something that is passionate to him, and it's passionate to me because of that. I want to be sure that I'm doing my part. So, just like I did in January, I'm 50% of all of my sales this month will be going to American Heart in support of Che. Che just said here, he tweeted the story from his blog. So definitely, Che, thanks for reminding me of that. I forgot that you wrote a very, very compelling story as well about it. So definitely read that, folks. It's something to behold. But yeah, so I mean, it's going to be a great month. I think that we're going to do some really, really awesome things. I am extremely excited to see what we can do, for this and moving forward. The one thing I failed to mention in January too, part of the program that we're doing. All right, Wes, take care, man. Have a good day, buddy. Hope it gets better. One thing that we're doing too is one large RAK each month. And basically it's nothing that hasn't already been done within the hobby community. It's just one person's responsible for finding the person to get the RAK, finding the RAK item, and then organizing the whole thing. So taking it from A to completion. Last month it was Jaden, Javier's son, saw a Joey Bart card. He PCs Joey Bart, and we're like, we got to get it for him. So it was pretty cool to see that. Che's got this month. I know he's already got plans for it, so we'll be on the lookout for that. Che is an inspiration. Garrett, you're so right. Such an inspiration in so many ways. He tells it like it is, and he's a straight shooter and just one of the best guys that I've met, through this hobby and through this community. So, definitely glad that we were able to connect. So RAKs, that's kind of it for the review. I know that I missed a ton, and if I did, feel free to type them in the chat here. Happy to shout them out. But what else is going on in the world? Anything crazy? Anything at all? I mean, it seems like it's been a pretty slow news week, right? Am I wrong? I don't know what do you want to talk about? We can do Super Bowl. We can do Tom Brady retiring. I don't know what else is going on. Anything? Looking for suggestions here. Who Day? Yeah, Che. So obviously, I'm a Browns fan, and I despise every team that was ever in the AFC Central, AFC North, the Bengals being one of them. And, I distinctly remember I had friends growing up who were Bengals fans, and I could never understand why. But I hope they win. I want to see the Bengals win the Super Bowl this year. I think it's going to be a great game either way. But I would like to see them. And as an Ohio State fan, Joe Burrow just had that it factor where you can't hate him. I mean, you cannot blame Joe Burrow for leaving Ohio State to go to LSU, because you got to look back and see, what. Look at that quarterback room. It was him, Dwayne Haskins, Cardell Jones, Braxton Miller, and I'm missing one person. I can't think of who the fifth quarterback was, but there was no way he was going to be able to play. So he had to get out, and he clearly made the right decision. So Joe Burrow for the win. Just want to say thank you again for the Pokemon RAK. Yes. Amber. Yes. Amber had a big RAK from Goldmine of some Pokemon cards. So that's going to be exciting. minor league baseball and how lucky we are for Garrett, man. Like my wife and I were talking last night about this. So we have tickets and plans for the end of March to go to Indians or Guardians spring training out in Arizona. And I'm hoping that everything will be resolved by March 1st and that, hopefully spring training can still happen. But man, I tell you what, like minor league baseball is one of the coolest things ever. And I never had an appreciation for minor league baseball until I moved to Virginia and there were no pro sports teams there. Like I grew up in Northeast Ohio, so I could go to any pro sports teams game whenever I wanted. But in Virginia, where I was at, there were nothing except for the Norfolk Tides. And that's where my appreciation for minor league baseball started. And now where I live, we have the Washington Wild Things, and they're low, like the lowest Class A independent league that you can find. And they're a lot of fun to go watch as well. So definitely, but I do hope Major League Baseball comes to their senses. I also have tickets for opening day of the Guardians, and I missed them 2 years ago because of COVID, and I don't want to miss it again this year. So let's hope that all works out. Yeah, Urban chose Haskins over Burrow. I mean, I don't know. Looking back on it, it was maybe the right decision, but I don't know. It's still tough to see. Harbaugh. Listen, Jim Harbaugh, right? He had a good run with the 49ers, and he's like, I'm a Michigan man. I'm going to go to Michigan and turn them around. Well, he didn't. He did nothing any different than what Rich Rodriguez did or Brady Hoke or any of those Michigan guys. He did absolutely nothing. And he finally beat Ohio State last year, and he's like, didn't feel that great. I got to go back to mediocrity. So let me go to the NFL and coach the Vikings. And I hope, for his sake, I hope it's the right move. I thought he was actually a better college coach than he was NFL coach, but, tomato. I know that college coaches have a ton of work, but so do NFL coaches. So, it is what it is. It's interesting, though, that he's interviewing with the Vikings today, which is National Signing Day. So I imagine that a lot of Michigan's class are probably questioning what's happening. And who knows, maybe Tennessee will benefit from it. Can he turn the Vikings around? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. It takes one coach, right? Kevin Stefanski came into Cleveland and turned them around. We're a winning team now. We have the capability of winning, some ups and downs, but it is what it is. Bradley, we just had a recent meeting call with the Gastonia Honey Hunters. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, and you bring baseball in town. It's always fun. The move became Joe Burrow was definitely a life. Yep, agree, Che. That move was life-altering for sure. Honey Hunters, that sounds awesome. Garrett's got a great minor league baseball collection. Bill O'Brien to Michigan. Bill O'Brien to Michigan. That'd be interesting. He obviously knows that Midwest area, being at Penn State. I think he could still hey, I coached for the Patriots, during Super Bowl runs, and I have the NFL head coaching pedigree with the Texans and whatnot. It'd be an interesting hire. I don't really know who else is out there, that would want to go coach Michigan. They're not going to, at this point, they're not going to attract anybody like one of the coordinators, that would be looking for a position. I don't know. That's going to be an interesting hire to see who they bring in. So, anyway, what else? Anything else that you all want to chat about? I'm here. Excuse me. Actually, took to work today. I didn't put this out on Twitter because I don't need any attention on it or anything like that. But last Friday, I was actually in the ER for 6 hours and was diagnosed with pneumonia. So been battling that for the last few days, and yesterday was a really rough day, and so I just needed to take the day off and kind of recuperate. So it's tough, man. I've never been sick before, and this is horrible. Deshaun Watson, we don't need a quarterback, all right? The Browns don't need a quarterback. Baker Mayfield, he's a fine quarterback, okay? Do I like him? No. Do I have to like him? Not at all, okay? I think the wheels kind of fell off this past year. Was there a lot of drama in the locker room? Yeah, there probably was. But, man, they have a good offense. I mean, I think they definitely have to be a run-first type of team. I mean, clearly with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, run the ball first. Take a look at what oh my gosh. Take a look at what the Bengals have done with Jamar Chase, especially this last game. I mean, find a receiver, dump it off to him in the flat, and let him run after the catch. I mean, you don't need to be throwing it down the field all the time, but get those short passes, get the offensive line healthy, get them out in front, and I think they'll be all right. But we don't need a quarterback. So, yeah, Zach, I mean, look, Tennessee, they might grab a few, right? I haven't really been following National Signing Day today, so I did see Ohio State grab a top 25 recruit. Oh, here we go. So let's see. 3 SEC teams chasing number 1. Well, there's a shock. OSU, Michigan, and Penn State top 10. Where's Oklahoma and USC? I don't have a clue. The other thing with National Signing Day that'll be interesting is the whole name, image, likeness thing. Lane Kiffin to Michigan. Oh, man. Wouldn't that be something? Okay, Garrett, you bring up a good point here. So the whole Jacksonville State thing with Dion, okay? Look, that one recruit, I don't know who he is. I haven't followed him closely enough. I know I don't know if he was number 1 in the country or number 1 in his position, but I have a strong belief that he went to Jacksonville State because he's going to get the attention because of who he is, first of all. He's going to get the attention because of Deion Sanders being his coach. But name, image, likeness also has a really big factor in all this now. The kid's going to get paid. Deion Sanders is going to make sure that he gets paid. I hope for his sake, for Jacksonville State's sake, for Coach Deion Sanders' sake, and for all the HBCU colleges that have a football team, for all future recruits that are looking to go there, I hope this kid pans out. I really, truly do. Because if he doesn't, we're going to be right back to square one, where these HBCU schools are not going to get the love that they probably deserve. And I think you can pinpoint it right back to this one decision. So I definitely hope it works out for everybody involved. I just do. I can't blame him. Like Zach, you just said, you can't blame him. I mean, you go play for Deion Sanders, a Hall of Fame player, one of the best players to ever play the game. Definitely, an opportunity of a lifetime. So, yeah, go for it, man. Go for it for sure. What else we have going on? Like I said, I got all day, so I mean, I can go and go and go, or I can call it quits. Doesn't matter to me. I mean, it's only lunchtime here, so I know where Zach and Garrett are. It's probably an hour behind me, so I think I am going to go ahead and call it. But I do appreciate you all stopping in. Hopefully, didn't his son just sign with a huge deal with Gatorade? I don't know. I didn't see it. It wouldn't surprise me, but I didn't see that. But I am gonna call it a day on this. Continue seeing the rack of the day stuff. We'll put something out later today. Continue hopping on the racks when you can with folks. Let's make February a big push for American Heart Association with Chet. I know he's got some good stuff planned and just appreciate you all. I really do. This is so cool, and I appreciate y'all stopping in. So have a fantastic day, and I will talk to you all soon. Take care.